what's up, guys? Thanks for checking me out again. This time we've got part 2, number 2 of the variant Play Arts line from Square Enix. In the Play Arts Kai figures have been they've been churning them out pretty good, and I was thrilled to see these because they cover a lot of properties. Square's got their hands in a lot of different licenses, and lately most of the ones that they've been putting out have been really good. But as much as I like, say Resident Evil characters, or really some of the newer characters like, the new version of Lara Croft, who isn't really a new character, but say Ezio Auditore from Assassin's Creed, or Master Chief and all them, those are really cool, and it's nice to see them done well. But what I really like are updated or maybe modernized versions of classic characters, and this is exactly what this is, and it's right up my alley. So I was very thrilled to see this line announced, and Wonder Woman, for me, when they showed the original 3, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern, Wonder Woman was the standout for me. That's the one that I think is the best looking. So here is Wonder Woman. She's got the same wraparound art that Batman has. Same pretty basic side and top and bottom panels. The side here is continuation of the art from the front, and then on the back here you've got all that info, and then Wonder Woman, and you can see there in the back Green Lantern and Batman. Green Lantern is probably the only one of these I don't really particularly care for. I'm not a big Green Lantern fan, but in this line I feel like the redesign kind of missed the mark a little bit. His armor and everything is cool. I think it's his head. It's his hair and his head for me. I'm not sure why that is, but anyway, this isn't about Green Lantern. So here's Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman, the cool thing about this figure, and I think this was done intentionally, or probably painstakingly, is that they didn't really add much to Wonder Woman. Batman, they almost pretty much change his persona. He is basically a ninja version of Batman. And while Batman's not really that far removed from a ninja, he doesn't really use a sword, and it's definitely more Japanese influence. This, however, not really changing her much at all. Everything that she has is pretty much still here, and kind of just has modern design sensibilities kind of added to them. And we'll get into that in a second. Here are the inside of the package here. That artwork I think is great. I wish it was like in full color and not kind of so dark and detailless. Here we have this little description here. I believe on the left, that paragraph there is the same as in the Batman figure. Basically just explaining what Play Arts is, and how proud of themselves they are at this point, which is fine. I think that's probably well deserved. And then on the right side, this paragraph here, a little bit about Wonder Woman, and they say here that basically it says this representation can be appreciated by all, and that's, I think, probably true. I've had some friends that aren't really into the redesigns that they did with these characters, but everybody seems to love this Wonder Woman. So let's go ahead and open her up and take a look. Alright, so here she is out of her package. Well, almost out of her package. Same as Batman, she comes with the Play Arts Kai figure stand. Again, the same as all the others that they've made so far. Well, not all the others. They've made some basic ones in the past. These are far superior to. But the now Play Arts Kai figure stand, in the directions for how to put the stand together on the right, and on the left, some breakdown of her accessories. I didn't understand why she came with 2 collars. She has an extra collar here. But, as I'll show you in a moment, that's actually designed to one's to hold her shield, which is pretty cool. I really like that. I wish there was a way to conceal extra accessories on a character. Not necessarily conceal, but if I can kind of add them to them, maybe carry them in a sling, not a sling, a sling, a holster, or in this case, her collar, which is kind of weird. Then great. I like that. I like the idea that I don't have to have a pile of accessories for figures. They could all just be on the figure itself. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so after spending probably 10 minutes trying to get her to stand on her feet on her own, I gave up and put together the display base. So it's a good thing she comes with one. I'm pretty sure all the Play Arts Sky figures are coming with one nowadays, but she definitely needs it. So all the joints and everything like that are tight. She seems like she has okay balance, but the problem is her feet. She has these boots that, or more specifically, the heels on these boots. They're made of kind of a softer, rubbery plastic, and they give really easily, and they don't really support her weight. Plus, she doesn't have much contact on the ground. Not much of her foot's touching the ground on either side, so she doesn't really have a good platform to sit herself on. So balancing her is kind of like standing her on stilts, and it doesn't seem to work out very well. But with the stand, she seems to do just fine. It doesn't need a lot of support. You can use the smaller clip that the display base comes with, and it supports her pretty well. So, just like Batman, the whole draw of this thing is the sculpt and the design. But she's been designed, I want to say modestly, but when you see her from afar, it's kind of pretty obvious that it's Wonder Woman. When you get up close to it and see the details and things like that, it's where you can really appreciate the redesign. There's a lot of details all over the place. Pretty much anywhere she has any sort of clothing at all, that there's a lot of detail built in. Sculpted in, I guess I should say. So there are some issues, though, with Wonder Woman here. Not standing on her own is kind of a bummer. Batman, I was able to stand on his own, but I cannot make her stand, so not great when it comes to that. But she's got some pretty good articulation, and let's start with that, I suppose. She's got a double-jointed neck. Hold on a second here. Get this situated. She's got a double-jointed neck, double ball joint. That's nice. She's got the same type of shoulders that Batman and other Play Arts Sky figures have, where it's like kind of a swivel hinge, and then it's got this kind of wing hinge here that lets her arm move in and out, or forward and backwards. She's got a bicep swivel just underneath the shoulder. She's got these hinges on her elbows, and pretty much in her knees and wrists and ankles are all the same joint, and in the hips as well. And this is kind of a hinge or a joint that Play Arts they seem to use a lot. And essentially, what you have is a ratcheting hinge that it pegs in on at 2 points, so in the arm and in the forearm, and it will rotate on either spot. And that adds a lot of options for different positions to get the limbs in. So she comes with, oh, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Hinges here, and in the wrist, same thing. She's got a double ball jointed torso, so the upper torso here is on a ball joint, which helps a lot. That really kind of goes a long way into making her as posable as she is. It's most of it. And then also down at the bottom, so just above the hips, she's got a ball joint there as well. Now, as far as her hips go, There are a couple of ratcheting joints inside the hips. There's the same as in the knees and in the elbows and in the wrists. It's pegged in at this little T-joint here, right in the center, and then also at the top of the hip on the inside. And it ratchets two ways, in and out, and forward and back. And pretty good range of motion. There's not really a lot there to impede her. The sculpt doesn't get in the way or anything like that, so pretty good. Nothing in the thighs. The knee does have the same joint that's allows the knee to rotate here and the whole bottom leg to rotate there. And then she's got the same joint in the ankles. And it's a good joint to have. It allows for a lot of range of movement. Kind of wish Batman had the same in his knees. It would have been nice. So, that's it for articulation. The other thing that kind of steals the show on this figure is the paint. The paint's amazing. All of it's done really well. A lot of detail, a lot of work put into the paint. It's not just that they used really nice paint, that the colors are very rich and all of that. It's been applied pretty well too. So you get details in her tiara or crown or headband, whatever you call that, that are have a wash in them. So they kind of pops out all those little details that they've sculpted in there. The same as in the W across her chest and in her hands. So you can see here, went a little overboard right there in this hand in particular, but it still does kind of make the detail show. Better than not doing it for sure. A lot of airbrushing, it looks like, done on this figure. A lot of like foreshadowing and things like that. The paint apps are just top notch. A couple of them, there are couple errors here and there. Actually, on mine, I had one here. You can see where the hip here joins the leg. They kind of painted in a section of her butt cheek there, but it's missing some paint right there at the end. You can see it's white. I'm not sure how that ends up happening, but it's not very noticeable. You're not going to see it from afar, but I noticed it. She's also got some pretty noticeable seams on her legs. Not a big deal for a Play Arts Kai figure to have that. That's not terribly uncommon. But when you're dealing with bare skin like that, it becomes a little more noticeable. You see this paint apps on her boot here. Probably the best on the figure. The best, the most detail to be seen, and the paint really makes all of the details pop. And the way they kind of shadow it and lay it in the grooves and all that, it came out really, really nice. So paint overall is great. The sculpt overall is great. I have a couple of, well, one small gripe, I suppose, with the sculpt is that her bracelets, Wonder Woman's bracelets, are kind of, I don't know, it's a trademark of Wonder Woman, and she has them. They're more like bracers. They go all the way up to her elbow. They look good, but they don't really stand out because the design of her altogether is a little more exaggerated. The bracelets don't really, I don't know, there's nothing about them to suggest that they're special. And I suppose there's nothing really about Wonder Woman's bracelets traditionally to let you know that they're special, but we all know that they are. It's just, I think when you're taking liberties to redesign a character, I think they maybe could have done something a little bit different, something a little more thoughtful into, I don't know, making her bracelets a point of interest. Because as of now, they're there, but they just kind of look like part of her armor. But they're done well, and I really like the way that they look. I think what they did was executed well. I just feel like maybe they could have done something more interesting. Also, as far as paint goes, her hair is fantastic. You've got a few different shades of blue and then some metallic, like kind of silver, mixed in, and makes the whole thing look very shiny and very eye-catching. It looks, combined with the sculpt, with the way the light hits and bounces off the hair, looks really good. Probably some of the best hair I've ever seen in a figure. Kind of reminds me a little bit of what they did with Raiden, where they kind of mixed in the silver. I'm guessing this is going to become a kind of standard practice for them, and that's fine by me because it looks really good. The hair of the sculpt is a little weird, but it's good in that it frees up her head for lots of different poses. A lot of times when they do females with long hair, the hair just ruins any sort of articulation in the head. That's not the case for her. You've got this little kind of wisp of hair that goes across underneath her chin. That can be moved. I've seen that in a lot of shots, and I was wondering about that, and it just swings around to the back. So if you don't like it there, you can have it around the back. I do like it there, though, however. I think it looks a little more dynamic with it there. The face sculpt is done really, really well, too. The paint apps are very accurate. Just get that in there. You can see all the detail in her eye. She's got some eyeshadow, and her eyebrows are all accurate. No paint out of place. The lips are same way, very accurate. And there's a lot of detail in the eye. You can see kind of the little white spots where the light is reflecting and things like that. So pretty good. Her face is a little, I don't know, it feels a little mundane, a little bit. It's fine, and I like it. I think it's done well. But she looks, I guess, confident, which is good. I don't know. I like a little more aggressive expressions. I think Batman looks really cool because of that. And that has probably just to do more with the sculpt of his cowl and all that. She doesn't have a cowl, so... oh well. So, one of probably my biggest problem with her is this, her little pelvis piece here. Now she's got this kind of rubbery pelvis piece like all Play Arts Kai figures have, but hers isn't really situated very well because you can see there are, looks like 5 stars on the front. Pretty sedate, nothing too in your face, but they're there like they should be. The only problem is that they like to settle up inside of the her abdomen, and they're really hard to get out. And the only way I've been able to do this with any luck at all is by kind of sticking my nails there in the stars and pulling them down. But when you do that, and you do it enough to where they look like they're completely in position where they should be, and you can see all the stars and all of that, it throws her butt all out of whack. This whole thing lifts up and it starts to roll forward, and there's a big gap and it's kind of unsightly. So if you were to kind of do the opposite on the back side and pull this down so that the back looks right, then the front gets sucked up like that. And with this, the way that her upper thighs are sculpted, they kind of have these folds in here of skin that need to be there to bridge the gap in between her legs, but it just kind of makes her look like she's got some pretty fierce camel toe going. If you fidget with it enough, you'll find kind of a happy medium. And depending on how you're posing her, you can kind of go with one or the other. But I kind of tend to stick with the kind of the in-between. Something maybe about there. Still, it doesn't look quite right from all angles. So that's a little bit of a bummer. I feel like they kind of the sculpt isn't quite where it should be. But not too bad. If you're going to be posing her in one spot,
you basically can find a good position for that and leave it, and it'll look fine. And as long as it's not like, I don't know, viewable from all angles, you should be able to find a position that works for you. She's got her lasso of truth here. This is attached to her belt, and it's not removable. It's molded in. You can see it's kind of glued in there. It looks good. It's got some more lighter color, silvery paint at the top. Kind of looks like lights shining on the top of it. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but it looks good. It doesn't really look bad. I think it came out pretty well. Her belt here in the package, when I was looking at her, this side was sitting just like that, and then this side was up like that, and I thought, oh no, what's going on there? I was hoping that this was easily movable, and it's a lot easier to move than I would have thought. It kind of feels like a strong-ish rubber band. It's very pliable, and the lasso's attached there, and it stays put. Kind of wish that the lasso could maybe slide on the belt a little bit, so maybe you can put it in different positions. Also, I feel like it kind of missed an opportunity to add an accessory for just letting her hold a lasso of truth. But instead we get this shield. And the shield's pretty cool. You can see here how it goes around her arm. She comes with a couple different sets of hands. Basically, she has 2 fists, one for each hand, and she's got 2 open hands. And these are done pretty well. You can see, you know, her nails got paint on them, and nail polish, I mean. And these details inside the ends of the bracelets have some paint wash in them also. And the hands are airbrushed, and they look pretty good. Although, for mine, one's considerably darker than the other. The right hand doesn't have nearly as much paint on it as the left. Not sure what that's about. And then she comes with this closed hand here to hold the shield. Now, the shield comes out of her hand, and she could hold other things, presumably, but I'm not sure. She doesn't come with any other accessories, and Batman stuff won't fit, so I don't know if you'll... I'm sure you can probably find something, but nothing in this line anyway. And then she also comes with an additional collar. This collar is the same as the one that she comes boxed with or wearing, but it's got a little peg here on the back that the shield pegs onto. So we'll go ahead and show you that real quick and what that looks like. Alright, so here she is with the shield on her back, and you can see it looks pretty good. I like the way it turned out. You remove this little arm band here and her hand with the handle. Those come off, and this pegs onto her back pretty well. Interesting part that I think they've done well is that even though you put the shield on her back underneath her hair, it doesn't really inhibit her head motion too much. She can look down. She can't really look up anymore after that, but she can look left and right pretty well and look down, and it comes out pretty good. It doesn't really stop her from posing her head, which is nice. And I like the way that looks with it on the back there, but I think I like the way it looks with her holding it even more. It's a very nice shield. You can see it's painted well. Again, more kind of detailed painting, foreshadowing, and all that good stuff. Really done well. It looks great. So, real quick, I'll do a quick comparison. It's not really so much a size comparison per se, but I did want to do this. Let's see, something like that, maybe like that there. That's close enough. Oops. So there's her and the Shoujo Wonder Woman. So she's got, I don't know about better paint. I think the Bishojo statue still has that nice, really metallic red. But the reds on the Bishojo statue is kind of just one tone. But comparing these two are like apples and oranges, really. It's not really, I don't know. There's probably not much point in comparing the two of them directly, but there they are, just in case you were wondering what those looked like together. And then also, for shits and giggles, I guess, her and Batman. And they're looking pretty good together, I gotta say. I can't wait to get the rest of these guys. I'm not gonna get all of these. I've already decided I'm gonna pass on Green Lantern and who else? I think there's someone else, but the Flash looks awesome. I gotta get him. Batgirl looks really cool too. Supergirl hasn't been painted yet. I haven't seen the painted version of her, but the sculpt looks great. And Superman, I'm really going to have to wait to see what he looks like painted as well. But so far, so good. All the variant arts that they've showed have been pretty impressive. And Wonder Woman, I think, for me, so far is the best of the bunch. I would suggest picking her up, and I think this is going to be one of the ones that's going to go for a premium later. If you're a Wonder Woman fan, don't wait to get her. If you're going to pick her up, do so sooner than later. You're going to be able to get her at Big Bad Toy Store. They're still taking pre-orders, and she's scheduled to be released in November. And then you can get her through Japanese sites like AmiAmi and HobbyLink Japan. So that'll do it for now. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.